Hi boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss the geometry of the driver, specifically the modern driver. So many moons ago, back when we had persimmon clubs, the modern driver was roughly 50 degrees. We'll call it anywhere from 50 to 53 degrees. Okay. Notice if we were to set these both up on their neutral lie angle, what you would have is quite a difference of lie angle here at address, right? So why would they change it given the modern club is actually supposed to have better technology and it's supposed to be more ergonomic? Why would this club be like this? Doesn't that seem weird? Why would they make old persimmons where you had to be far more accurate and far more powerful? Why would they make them like this but make a modern driver like so? Well, part of it was because they played steel shafts. And modern shafts are a little whippy, guys. They're a little, well, you've seen my videos already on toe droop with Colin Morikawa, but they're designed to droop, right? So that essentially what happens is people that early extend or come out of their golf shots can hit the ball pretty straight. So for those of you struggling with the driver, we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up your geometry better so that you don't struggle anymore. All right. And the first way we're going to do that is we're going to use an old school driver. Now, this driver is set up at 50 degrees, but we followed Hogan and we discovered that his lie angles are super flat. So we went out and made some drivers that were flat. But let's see what happens when I swing this driver versus that driver. So notice my hands are set much lower than you would see with a modern driver. But let's see what happens if we come through normal. As you can see, the club fades way out to the right. It's pretty ugly actually, right? That's like a 60-yard fade. That's not at all what you want. And you have to ask yourself, well, if the old school guys could do it, why can't we do it? We have better ball technology. We have better shaft technology, better metallurgy. Heck, the clubs were wood back then. They were made from trees. Right. But guess what they had that we don't have? They had steel shafts. And steel shafts specifically that had such a high torque rating through impact that if you got a X100 per se, at impact with an old wood head, everything would be incredibly stable. Thus, you could release the head and the ball, being much softer, would create a collision which would then shoot the ball off. And when we're talking physics with an old golf ball, that compression was like a slingshot, right? So you would catch the ball, it would compress in, and then it would release it, and the ball would go straight. Okay? Well, nowadays, the balls are made of super rubber. Super ball rubber. Remember those little balls you bought in the vending machine back in the day, and you'd bounce them and they'd bounce over buildings sometimes? Well, that's what modern golf balls are made of. That's why they go so far. So when you take away the metal shaft, you replace it with graphite. You take away a wood head, you replace it with titanium, which is high response too, like trampoline type titanium. Literally instant motion and reaction as soon as it touches that super ball. You change the golf ball technology, you're hitting a super ball with a piece of metal, with a graphite shaft, well, everything changes. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that. And I see it all the time. I'll go out and I'll play public golf and you'll have a guy set up to hit a driver like this. And then he'll block it 100 yards to the right. And the reason for that being is he just doesn't understand the geometry and design of the modern driver. So, getting into it, what's different? Well, with a graphite shaft, you have toe droop, and you've probably all seen my video on Colin Morikawa by now. And that toe droop, you have to prepare for it. So, when you're setting up with a modern driver, guys, you really want to set up about 6 inches behind the ball. If you watch John Rahm, he does this beautifully. And just about every guy on tour now is setting up kind of a little behind the ball, maybe 3 to 6 inches, maybe If you want to go crazy, you want to be Mo Norman, you could set it up 24 inches behind the ball or whatever, but 6 inches is more than enough. And then secondly, what do? Well, a lot of them shorten their driver. A lot of them are playing like 42 to 44 inch drivers, but this is a 44 and a half. And let me show you how I set up, and this will probably help 99% of you recreational golfers hit the ball so much better. So, I want you to notice my hands are still low and that toe is in the air, right? It's way up in the air, okay? That's how these are designed, because essentially what's going to happen at impact is that toe is going to come down. It's going to drop. It's going to droop. The club is going to square itself. It's going to release on plane. And again, all you have to do is touch it. The modern golf ball, you don't have to compress the living hell out of it like you used to do a Balata. So it's going to pretty much go where it's pointed. So once you understand toe droop, all you have to do is set up with that toe in the air, make your same swing, and just let the toe stay in the air, and the physics and the geometry of the golf club, the design of the golf club, will offset everything. So let's see what that looks like. Look at that. Look at that. Perfectly straight golf shot. And notice my hands were real low, just like they were with the 50-degree driver. But because the shaft is designed to release, it has low torque values, it's meant to pop, there's very little inertia in the head. The old persimmon drivers, man, those things would turn over on you. That's why you would hit duck hooks with them. They were much harder to hit. These are designed to be extremely stable. As you're coming through the strike, they're going to stabilize, go through the ball, even with toe droop. And then again, these shafts are built with a spiral line to them. So once you get that toe droop, you're actually in the most stable position you can be in, okay? And that's why you get that kick release. So again, for those of you struggling with the driver, can't figure it out, try this. Try sticking that toe way up in the air, keep your hands low, and just hit it. But again, set up about 6 inches behind the ball. That's probably the worst swing I can make with that driver, and it's still going to be in the fairway. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment with any questions. And this last drive is for you. Alright boys and girls, we'll see you next time.